The International Space Station orbited, a lonely sentinel in the vast emptiness. Inside, Russian cosmonaut Dmitry Volkov stared at the Earth. It hung like a blue and green marble against the black velvet of space. A pang of longing struck him. He hadn't seen his family in months. Beside him, American astronaut Captain James Jim Walker chewed gum, his face stoic. The tension between them crackled, palpable as the static in their headsets.
Anything from Houston, Jim?
Nothing. You?
Silence.
The silence was unnerving. The usual chatter of mission control had ceased hours ago. An unsettling premonition settled over Dmitry. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. They were supposed to be symbols of unity, a joint mission in the name of science and progress. But down on Earth, tensions between their nations had escalated. Now, it seemed, the conflict had followed them into the heavens. A shrill alarm shattered the silence. Both astronauts jumped, hearts pounding. Dmitry fumbled for his console, dread twisting his gut. On the screen, a message blinked in stark red letters.
What the?
Jim's face paled. Protocol Omega was a scenario they had trained for but hoped never to face. It meant one thing: total nuclear war. A follow-up message arrived. Dmitry read it aloud, his voice trembling.
Terminate the other astronaut. Consider it your final mission objective.
The blood drained from Jim's face. He looked at Dmitry, his eyes wide with disbelief and betrayal.
They can't be serious.
Dmitry felt a surge of adrenaline, raw and terrifying. He had his orders, but could he bring himself to follow them? The space station, once a symbol of unity, now felt like a cramped prison. Suspicion hung heavy in the air, a suffocating blanket. Every move Jim made, every glance, felt like a threat. Dmitry found himself gripping a wrench, his knuckles white.
This is insane. We're both going to die up here anyway. What difference does it make who pulls the trigger first?
Dmitry said nothing. He couldn't deny the logic in Jim's words, but the orders echoed in his head. Terminate. Survive. The silence stretched, punctuated by the hum of the life support systems. It was the only sound that reminded them they were still alive, still human. Or were they? Days turned into nights, marked only by the rising and setting of the sun over the Earth's curve. They circled the planet, prisoners of their own fear and uncertainty. But as the initial shock wore off, a seed of doubt began to grow in Dmitry's mind.
Jim, don't you think it's strange? No messages, no attempts at contact, just silence.
What are you saying?
What if it's a lie? What if there's no war? What if they just want us gone?
The thought hung in the air, heavy and cold. It was a terrifying possibility, but one they couldn't ignore. They began working together, pooling their resources and knowledge. They managed to rig up a makeshift antenna, amplifying their signal. And then a miracle. A faint transmission crackled through the static. A message from Earth. But it wasn't the message they were expecting.
Dmitry, Jim, this is Earth. The war, it was a lie, a fabrication by a rogue faction to seize power. They're the enemy now. We're working to stop them, but they control most communication channels. Please stay safe. Help is coming.
Relief washed over Dmitry, followed by a chilling realization. They had almost killed each other. Pawns in a deadly game, orchestrated by men who cared nothing for their lives. The enemy wasn't down there on Earth. It was up here all along. It was deceit. The silence of space had never felt so loud, so full of unspoken truths. They had survived the ultimate test, not by fighting each other, but by choosing to trust, to hope, In the end, it was their humanity that had saved them, but the experience had changed them, branded them with the chilling knowledge of how easily truth could be manipulated, how close they had come to becoming monsters themselves.